Hello guys and welcome to Astrology Coaching by Anatoly. Today I decided to make one video about 2025 and partially from 2024 predictions because while I was doing my videos about the transits in 2024 and about the eclipses of 2024, I saw that at the beginning of 2025 there will be really important astrological events. Rahu, the north node of the moon, together with Saturn and Neptune will come together, will conjunct in the zodiac sign of Pisces. And this is really heavy energy. When I saw this, I got a little bit stressed because I'm going to tell you, of course, what is Pisces and everything. Just Rahu is is malefic, Neptune is malefic, Saturn is malefic, Pisces is associated with suffering, and I decided to make to check whether we had this type of conjunction in the past. And I saw that in 1968 Rahu and Saturn conjunct in Pisces again. And of course the most important events were not very positive, they were very malefic. There was assassinations, protests, riots, massacres, mass killing of civilians. And that's why, of course, just to mention that Rahu and the north node of the moon, Rahu and Saturn were in Pisces together, but the position of the other planets were a little bit different. So I don't expect the same events, but definitely there will be these type of topics that can repeat again when Rahu and Saturn will come together in Pisces again. So now I'm going to discuss first, of course, I'm going to discuss all the events that are going on from 2024 till the middle of 2025, which are a little bit more critical. So stay with me. It will be an interesting video for sure, and hopefully we will take, I mean, you know that in Vedic astrology we always say that there is free will. So we have the power to change our future. So if we pay attention to spirituality, to the highest human qualities, then we can change the future and prevent this violence and aggression that comes from this combination of Rahu and Saturn. Because everything in this life has higher traits and lower traits. As I always say, we are the people, we are the nations, the people, the human will decide what to choose, the good or the evil. Just I want to share this. So I'm a Virgo, and I created a plan. So we are going to start first with some explanation. What is Pisces, the constellation, so-called nakshatras. Then I'm going to explain what is Neptune, Rahu, the Ketu and Mars conjunction to this year Saturn. So, and then I'm going to go date by date what is happening in the sky, and I'm going to show you this in the USA chart. Because it's easier, I have the exact hour of birth of the United States, so it's easier to show you in the mundane astrology, in the world astrology, in the chart of the United States. Just to mention, this video is more into mundane astrology. It's not to the individual astrology chart. If you have planets in Pisces, especially at the beginning of the zodiac sign in Pisces and Virgo, definitely the events will influence the conjunction of Rahu and Saturn. The eclipses will influence your life directly. So if you want a consultation, you can check my website www.astrology-coaching.com. All the links are below, are in the description below this video, so you can check the consultation options, and I can give you more information about your personal life, about your natal chart, and help you transform your life and fulfill your dreams, of course, if you want. And this video is more mundane astrology, more about the world, and I'm going to use for as an example the chart of the United States. So now what you see now is the chart of the United States. This is Parashara slide. This is my software that I'm using when you, for example, you come to me for a consultation. I open this chart and I check everything, the planetary dashas, the strength of the planets, the information here. And if you want, if I have to check the transits, I go in the chart of the transit. So now I'm going to show you the transit of the chart of the transit chart. So before proceeding with the main information, just to explain to you what you are seeing, because I want you to know what I'm doing with the chart. I don't want you to be confused what's happening. First I'm going to explain to you the chart, what you are seeing, then I'm going to explain to you about the United States chart a little bit. So all the people who live in the United States, they will be directly influenced by the things that I'm speaking now about Rahu Saturn conjunction, the Rahu Neptune conjunction. Then I'm going to tell you what is Rahu, what is Neptune, what is Pisces, and the constellation, because they are very, very important. Because now the eclipse in 2024, in April 2024, the eclipse of Rahu and Ketu, Rahu, Sun and Moon, this combination, the eclipse on 8th of April, is happening in the constellation of Revati, which is very positive constellation, which is a good constellation associated with wealth, nourishment, friendship. So the energy is more positive. You can check my video. I already uploaded it in my channel, Astrology Coaching by Anatoly. And what I was saying, I'm a little bit distracted. So now I'm going to show you. Oh yes, sorry. I'm thinking so many things. So, but in future, the eclipse will the conjunction of Rahu, Neptune, Rahu, and Saturn will happen. Will take place not in Revati, unfortunately. It will happen in the deepest part of Pisces, the deepest part of the ocean, Uttara Bhadrapada constellation and Purva Bhadrapada constellation. And this is these constellations, they are very destructive, they are very fiery, they are very they have strong evil energy. So this is not good, right? So I'm going to speak about the constellations. I'm going to speak about the events from 1968, and I created a special schedule. This is event day by day, what is happening in the sky. And I'm going to follow this this schedule, and I'm going to show you in the chart of the United States. Okay. So now I'm starting. First, you see this is the transit chart of the United States. Let me first show you the chart of the United States, the original one. Okay, so this is the original. This is the ascendant. This is in Sagittarius, then the second house, the third house, the fourth house, fifth house, and so on. These are the planets, and the numbers here, these are the signs. In mundane astrology, the houses have different significations. It's more general signification, but I'm going to explain for the house that are influenced. I'm going to explain the signification. I already explained it in my previous video, so you can check it. Now I'm going to open the transit chart again, and I'm going to explain it to you. In the middle, you see the date and the hour and the dasha, the planetary dasha. In the middle circle, you see the natal position of the planet of the chart of the United States. In the bigger circle here, you see the transits. Now, where are the planets now? And numbers, these are the zodiac signs. 6 is Virgo, 12 is Pisces. Main events are happening in the 4th house. This is the 4th house of Pisces, and the 10th house of Virgo. You can see Rahu, this is the north node of the moon, and Ketu, the south node of the moon. Rahu is in Pisces, 4th house. Ketu is in the 6th house. In I'm sorry, sixth in the 10th house of the sixth zodiac sign, which is Virgo. When we see Ketu in the 10th house, this means that there will be issues, problems with the government, with the president, with the person who is ruling a country, for sure. From the end of 2023 till the middle of 2025, there can be change of the president. Of course, there is election, there can be death of the president, there can be some problems with the government. Rahu is the north node of the moon. You see here Rahu and Neptune in the 4th house of Pisces. 4th house associated with the nation, with the territory, with the government, opposition, everything associated with the well-being of the people, with riots, with revolutions in the territory of the country. So this is the characterization of the chart. Now we are going to the first event. The first event is 8th of April. As you probably know, on 8th of April we have the first eclipse for this year. 8th of April. 8th of April is the eclipse, but I'm going to put the date here, 7th of April, just so you can see in a better way the planets. You see Rahu. Rahu is the north node of the moon, which will cause the first eclipse on 8th of April, together with the moon and the sun. And this is happening in the nakshatra of Revati. As I told you, this is a good nakshatra. What is interesting now? Now is the moment to explain what is Pisces. Now, Pisces, as you probably know, the symbol of Pisces, it is two fish that are swimming in a different way. So there is confusion. There is some kind of not misunderstanding. There is with Pisces there is some unclarity, some confusion. Pisces is the most spiritual zodiac sign. It is associated with spirituality. It is associated with isolation, with escape. It is associated with foreign lands, with oceans. That's why the events that are happening in Pisces, they can be associated with water, with oceans, with sea. It is associated with intuition, with dreaming, with fantasies, with other dimension. This everything is Pisces. What else? With healing, meditation, gurus, spiritual gurus. Pisces is one of the most creative zodiac sign, one of the best writers, artists, actors. They have Pisces in their zodiac, in their natal chart. Pisces is associated with subconscious, it's associated with endings, with forgiveness, with addictions, with secrets, everything behind the scenes, with losses, with endings, with retirement, with suffering and people that are suffering. You probably know that Christianity is associated with Pisces, fish, spirituality, religion, everything. This is in some way Pisces, especially Christianity. That's why many times if you see events that are happening in Pisces, they involve some kind of suffering. So if you know astrology, for example, if you have read my book Vedic Astrology Easy and Simple, or you are part of my online course for beginners of Vedic Astrology for Beginners, the links you can find in the description below if you want to learn Vedic Astrology, of course. I spoke in my book and in my course about the houses and the zodiac signs, and you know that 6th, 8th and 12th houses and their natural rulers, there is more negative energy there. 6th Virgo, 8th Scorpio, 12th Pisces. Not negative energy, but the traits of this house involve suffering, problems, conflicts, accidents, losses, expenditures. Of course, many things that are not good for this material dimension, but we need this in order to grow spiritually. So Pisces is the natural ruler of the 12th house. So the signification of the 12th house and the signification of Pisces are common. What I mean is that Pisces is a sign where you can face suffering. And when we see Rahu is conjunct with Saturn or Neptune in Pisces, this means that there will be something. The most important thing for the future event is that Rahu will conjunct Saturn and Neptune in two very difficult nakshatras, constellations. The first one is Purva Bhadrapada. Purva Bhadrapada is one of the most unpredictable zodiac constellation. I'm sorry. I have a book about the nakshatras too. I'm going to show it to you. This is nakshatras in Vedic astrology. All my books you can find in Amazon. So it has very dark side. It is associated with evil, dark side, Purva Bhadrapada, and transformation. The symbol of this nakshatra is a sword or the first part of a funeral cot. So you see there is death in this nakshatra. The deity, I don't know how to pronounce it, is Aja Ekapada. Aja Ekapada is one-footed goat. It is a goat that is illustrated as one-footed goat, and probably you know in the secret societies, in the devil, in the how to explain it, in some society where there is evil, devil, most of the time the goat is illustrated as a goat. The goat is illustrated as a goat. This is Aja Ekapada. Aja Ekapada is one-footed goat that is associated with the dark evil side, with witchcraft, with secret society like Illuminati, with dangerous places, skulls, black magic, everything that is evil and negative. This is it is associated with Aja Ekapada. This is the deity of Purva Bhadrapada nakshatra, and this is very dangerous nakshatra. It is associated with very destructive power. It is associated with a lot of suffering, and with many times it is associated with genocides, massacres, mass killings and homicides. So definitely this is very difficult nakshatra, and Rahu, the north node of the moon, will conjunct Neptune and Saturn in this nakshatra, which is very dangerous. Of course, the other nakshatra that is one of the scene of these astrological events is Uttara Bhadrapada, which is the second part of Purva Bhadrapada. Uttara Bhadrapada, there is anger too, but there is more wisdom in Uttara Bhadrapada. The symbol is a serpent in the water, in the bottom of the ocean, or the back part of the funeral cot. The god, the deity, is Ahir Budhanaya, which is a naga, which is a dragon or snake, that is in the dark, which is in the dark waters, in the bottom of the ocean. There is again destructive, fiery energy, but there is more compassionate nature here. But of course, it is associated with death and the end of life and exiting from this material world. So definitely, the events that will happen in the beginning, at the end of 2024, beginning of 2025, will be influenced by Pisces, and in more especially Uttara and Purva Bhadrapada and their destructive energy. However, I want to say that we have free will and we can choose whether to go to the lower expression of this energy or the higher spiritual expression. It depends entirely on us as a people, as a citizens, and we should gather together and tell our politicians that we don't want war or destruction or taking part in this in violence, any type of violence. Of course, now I'm going to explain what is Neptune, Rahu, Saturn. I just want to give you more information about that, and we will proceed with the chart, and I'm going to tell you all the events that are happening and the events from 1968, which topics can match the topics of 2025. So what is Neptune? Neptune is an outer planet. It is associated, you can see it here, in Pisces on 7th April 2024. of the United States chart. It is associated with spirituality, wisdom, illusion, delusion, fog. Wherever Neptune is placed, there is fog, there is confusion, there is unclarity. Neptune, of course, has a creative part too. It is associated with photography, cinema, art. It is related with ocean. It is the modern ruler of Pisces in Western astrology. However, we're speaking about Vedic astrology, and the things are more different. But in Western astrology, Neptune is a ruler of Pisces. So definitely there can be events associated with seas, oceans, or some kind of diseases, viruses, I don't know yet. But there will be unclarity and confusion. What is Rahu, the north node of the moon? This is, you know, if you follow my channel, that Rahu is the north node of the moon, Ketu is the south node of the moon, and they're part of one demon. Rahu is the head without the body, and Ketu is the body without the head. Rahu is associated with desires, material desire, obsessions. Rahu wants to be the best. Rahu wants all the luxuries, all the material success, and the material, all the best thing in life, the best brands, the best cars, the best apartments, everything that is material. This is Rahu. This is your karma. This is your mission in this life, what I mean. Rahu is ambition. Rahu is illusion, delusion, drugs, addictions to manipulation, fake news. Rahu is nuclear power. Cosmonauts, astronauts, the cosmos is associated with Rahu. Rahu is foreign planes, foreigners. This is Rahu. Chemicals is Rahu. What is Saturn? Saturn is the karka of truth. It is the karmic planet. Saturn is one malefic which is associated with responsibility, with delay, with sorrow, with misery, with sickness, diseases, with hard work, restrictions, constructions. It is associated with longevity and death. It is associated with wisdom that comes from the real life, with the highest human qualities, with truth. It is associated with authority, with government, with elderly people. It is associated with fear and worry. It is associated with people who are suffering, world-class people. So definitely you heard the combination Rahu, Neptune, Saturn, the whole signification of these planets, together with the signification of the nakshatras and Pisces, create one really heavy and destructive energy, and which we are going to analyze now. And of course, we have Mars and Ketu, but I'm going to speak a little bit later for them. So let's start now. I don't want to bother you, but first, the thing on 8th of April, the first eclipse this year, 2024, have more positive energy, but this eclipse will unlock the events that are happening in the next 1 year. So definitely there will be more positive things. Of course, it is eclipse, so there can be some kind of negative events too. But definitely this is the event that unlock the power of Pisces. The good news is that it happens in Revati, just to repeat again. However, on 18th of April, on 18th of April, you see that Jupiter here, you see first, number 1, Jupiter and Uranus will conjunct. I already made a short video about Uranus and Jupiter. There can be some kind of expansion of revolutions, fights for freedom, or innovation of technology, or change in the financial system, money, belief system too. Because of this conjunction, please watch my video Uranus-Jupiter conjunction in Aries. You can learn more about it. But definitely the events from 8th of April and from 18th of April will unlock the whole energy and the change and transformation of the world in a general way. Of course, if you have your private, personal natal planets around the conjunction, the degrees of the conjunctions, then you will be influenced too, and they will influence your life directly, not only indirectly. The next big event is happening at the beginning of October. So I can say that more heavy energy is happening. Of course, depends on the charts of on April 2024. But generally speaking, in October, the 2nd of October, oops, I'm sorry, the 2nd of October, you see here, this is the 2nd of October, you see Ketu, the south node of the moon, sun and moon. We have eclipse in Virgo. The 4th house is the nation, as I told you, this is the 4th house. And the 10th house, in this case, in the chart of the United States, is the government, the president. So definitely this will concern the president and the government. Of course, in this, I think, autumn, there are elections. So definitely United States will have very interesting period from October onwards. Definitely this is the event that unlocks a lot of troubles, problems, conflicts, arguments, for sure, because Virgo is the zodiac, is the 6th, is the natural ruler of the 6th zodiac sign, in the 6th house, the natural ruler of the 6th house, and it is the 6th zodiac sign. It is ruling health, conflicts, argument, serving other people, health, food, low class people, unprivileged people, divorce, everything, fixing problems, taking care of suffering people. So definitely the energy of the Virgo will be unlocked, and there can be a lot of conflicts, problems that needs to be fixed. Ketu is, as you probably know, Ketu is the indicator of liberation, spiritual liberation. It detaches you from the material and gives you pain and suffering in order to grow spiritually. Ketu is the planet that is associated with the final liberation, with healing, with healers, with witchcraft, with diseases, uncurable diseases, viruses, parasites, filth. It is associated with isolation, escapism, with phobias. It is associated with mass catastrophe, with terrorist attacks, with killing. It is the more anger, more destructive expression of Mars. You know, Mars and Ketu, they are like grandpa and grandchild. Ketu is the grandfather, and Mars is the grandchild, the grandchild. And they're ruling together Scorpio, which is the sign of death and rebirth and transformation and accidents, right? So definitely Ketu is very heavy. It's very heavy energy because it detaches you. It takes away all the material and gives you pain in order to grow spiritually. And the eclipse on the 2nd of October will include Ketu, not Rahu. Rahu is ambition and desire for success, while Ketu is pain, detachment, isolation, spiritual growth. And in this world, you cannot grow spiritually if there is no pain, right? So definitely the 2nd of October is the first eclipse where the energy goes a little bit more heavy. Okay, so 2nd of October, and the problems, I think this destructive energy will start from the autumn of 2024 for sure. Maybe previously in the previous months too, but for sure the energy and the problems, the conflict starting from this eclipse. After this, on 20th October, you can see another event. Mars, you see here, Mars goes in Cancer. When Mars is in Cancer, it is debilitated. When Mars is one of the planets that trigger events, this is it always trigger big events, because sometimes, you know, the big planets, they are conjunct, but they need a trigger, and Mars is the trigger. When Mars is in Cancer, debilitated, the energy is confused. There are a lot of conflicts, arguments, inner conflicts too, and Mars doesn't feel okay. There can be more aggression inside approach. I mean, it can be inside the person, it can be outward, it can be inward. Depends on the person. But definitely the aggression and the energy, the temper will start boiling when Mars is in Cancer. The problem is that on 20th December, on 20th October, it goes in Cancer debilitated. But on 6th of, let me see, 6th, you see, 6th, just a second. On 6th of December, it goes retrograde, which makes the confusion of the energy and the energy gets more and more destructive, because Mars debilitated and retrograde makes the energy go inwards for sure, and this can cause a lot of struggles, challenges, and anger around the world, and this can create problems. This for sure will create problems. And while Mars is retrograde here and debilitated, you see in the 4th house of the United States that Rahu and Neptune, they are coming together. As you can see, they are starting to come together. This is Rahu and this is Neptune, which is a big event, because Rahu, as I told you, is an illusion and delusion. Neptune is again illusion, foggy, confusion, and this can create a lot of fake news, lies, confusion, illusion. We will not be able to see the truth. And when I see Rahu and Neptune in Pisces, there can be diseases to viruses to, there can be suffering or things happening with water and oceans. There will be fake news. There can be a lot of lies, and we will not be able to see the truth, because Rahu will exaggerate the whole situation and exaggerate the fog of Neptune. You know what I mean? So Rahu and Neptune, they are coming together, and in, I think, around beginning of February, they will conjunct. So beginning of in the whole February, they are coming together and they will conjunct, which you know that planets which are, when they are less than 5 degrees, they really influence the chart. If, for example, if you have a conjunction in your chart which is more than 5 degrees distance, for example, Rahu is 5 degrees, Neptune is 10 degrees. Rahu and Neptune, they are influencing each other. But if Rahu is 5 degrees, Neptune is 20 degrees, which is more than 15 degrees, then the conjunction is very weak. So they don't mix the energies. But now when Rahu and Neptune are less than 5 degrees, they mix their signification, their traits, and their power. So definitely February, from the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025, we can see a lot of delusions, and lies around the world, especially in the 4th house of the United States. There can be a lot of lies, a lot of illusions, and people in the United States will not know the truth, and maybe it will be related with the elections. The other big event is happening on the, I think at the end, you see that how many planets are at the beginning of the zodiac sign Pisces in the nakshatras Uttara and Purva Bhadrapada. So they will activate these nakshatras and their significations. which I spoke previously. And at the end of March, you see that Saturn goes in Pisces, which is a big event. Saturn is changing sign and it's coming together with Rahu. So March and April, for sure, you feel the influence of Saturn Rahu conjunction. And now I'm going to tell you the events from 1968, just to tell you where will be the full conjunction. It will be around 12 of, let's say it will be around the middle of April. It will be depending on the calculation system that you're using, but let's say in the middle of April it will be full conjunction between Rahu and Saturn. So definitely March, April and May, we are going to feel this conjunction of Saturn and Rahu. And what happened last time when Saturn and Rahu were in Pisces together, conjunct? The events from 1968. Assassination of Martin Luther King is the first event. Russian invasion of Czechoslovakia, the Prague Spring. Malay massacre in Vietnam. In 1968, there was the war in Vietnam between the United States and Vietnam, and there was a massacre of Vietnamese civilians by the American troops. Anti-Vietnam protests all over the world. Protests and riots all over the world. Assassination of Robert Kennedy. These are the negative events. So definitely Saturn and Rahu in Pisces, they cause a lot of killing, a lot of death, a lot of riots, revolutions, protests, assassinations. Of course, there is a positive thing. Apollo 8 orbits the moon, which is Rahu is the cosmos, the aerospace. So definitely this can bring a lot of new things associated with aerospace, rockets. Maybe Elon Musk can create something, I don't know. But these are the events from 1968. I don't say that they are going to repeat, but definitely there can be some problems, assassination, massacres, genocides, and most protests, riots, and most probably we will not be able to see the truth, because Neptune, as you can see, is influencing all the things happening in in March and April in Pisces 2025. We are going to proceed now. So April is the conjunction of Rahu and Saturn, and we are going to feel this energy till the middle of May for sure. But at the end of May, Saturn will go very, very close to Neptune, and Neptune is illusion, Saturn is truth, and there is a battle between the lie and the truth, which can create a lot of confusion, a lot of frustration, a lot of protests, a lot of problems. There can be a lot of energy, bad energy, evil energy going on. Especially Mars is still debilitated, as you can see in the 8th house, the house of transformation, death and rebirth, accidents of United States. So definitely there can be a lot of problems. And they will come together, Saturn and Neptune, which can cause some events, of course, in the chart of the United States, especially with the territory and the people and the opposition. On at the end of May, Rahu goes in Aquarius, so the energy will change, and Ketu goes in Leo. But at the end of July, you see what is happening. You see here that there is Saturn and Neptune conjunction, and which can create issues again. But at the end of July, you see here Ketu and Mars are coming together, which always cause aggression, violence, catastrophes, terrorist attacks, or some kind of wars. But for sure, Mars and Ketu, they cause mass catastrophe or terrorist attacks or some kind of aggression and violence. So definitely there will be something at the end of July 2025 when Mars and Ketu, they are together. And you see that Neptune and Saturn, they're together, they're still together and influencing each other. So of course we have to check all the other planets, Jupiter, we have to check the Mercury, Venus, of course we have to check this and their influence too, but I'm just now analyzing the dangerous part of the transits, you know what I mean? Of course Jupiter will take part, of course Mercury, Venus, these aspects will take part in the events, so they can change it and they can change it for better, right? That's why I'm just saying that there can be some events, and it is really important as citizens, as people, to fight for peace and to fight and not let the negative traits of these conjunctions to be expressed. Just the good part of this, the spiritual part, the wisdom of this conjunction to be expressed outwardly. And we should put an effort and tell the politician and the people or the parties or the governments that are ruling our countries that we want peace and we have to fight for peace and we have to protect the peace and don't let aggression or assassination or massacres or bad things to happen in the world. That's why I decided to make this video, just to tell you that we really need to be citizens and to vote and to to control the politician, and don't let the politician create wars, violence, and we should fight for peace. And with our free will, I'm pretty sure if we take part, if we pray, if we take part in the events and don't let the politician or the illusions to control us, and we should control. We will be able. We should be real citizens, and we should fight for freedom. We should control our politicians in order not to have the same events like 1968. This is really important, and we should fight for peace, and we should take care of our countries and the things that are happening in our countries. It is not time to be lazy. It is not time to let politicians and the governments and the people who are ruling our country not to take into consideration our opinion. It is important to control our politicians and our governments and not let evil things happen in 2024 and 2025, because there is a possibility of the events similar to 1968, which is important. Thank you for watching. I hope there were so many things that I wanted to discuss. I hope I didn't miss anything, because I created so many. I'm Virgo, and of course the eclipses in Pisces and Virgo, they influence directly me, so I hope everything is okay with me, but we'll see what will happen. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video. It was I tried to make it really interesting, and just keep in mind that we have free will and we should control our politicians and be real citizen and respect our rights and fight for freedom and peace. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.